The summertime scales, rails, hails, summing events. The main story was a fun one. Can always appreciate a good fairy tale, man, even at my old age. Even if, tried to weave a few lines I don't really think needed to be woven and provide an awkward life lesson there towards the end. But there are a lot of good conversations to be had regarding it, and this time around, I don't feel like spoiling it right off rip, because the twist was an interesting one. So, let's begin. The story starts with us having received an old fairy tale book, and when we flip through the pages, we seemingly awaken in another world, and whilst exploring it, catch sight of the fact that everything, both sentient and not, is made of paper. These two frogs are talking about something, and they run off before we get a chance to speak with them. But in the midst of our chase with them, a fat hamster asks us if we just came from the Cliff of Prophecy. He states his name is Almond. He's an elder and has been waiting for the hero of the prophecy to arrive, who he says could be us. The prophecy goes something like this, quote, "The hero from another world, supported by their companion, shall restore peace to this world." Well, if that ain't the most fucking cookie-cutter prophecy I've ever read in my entire life. Almond gives a brief history regarding the mystery world, stating long ago 3 goddesses created it and named it Simulanka. There was the goddess of creation, whose dominion was matter and magic. She created the mountains and rivers and gave the paper beings life, and even allowed Simulanka to exist in numerous worlds. Then came the goddess of prophecy, whose domain was stars and fate itself. She's the one who caused the sky to spin and earth to move. And finally, there's the goddess of fate, who rules over all tales and wishes. She showed them the meaning of death and hope. Things were going swimmingly in Simulanka before one day an evil dragon descended from the skies cloaked in black and devastated the lands. However, no one was hurt. As a result of the attack from the evil dragon, the Calligraphy Tavern has closed. This is especially heinous because this tavern is the only source of magic tonic that sustains the entire forest. The reason Almond here doesn't have color and his memory is fading is because of the lack of magic tonic thanks to the tavern closing. We decide to help him, and we start by having Almond take us to the Hut of Blessings, wherein we meet the forest fairy who's prophesized to help the hero on their journey. We get to the hut, and oh my god, the fairy is Nilous. Nilous says she was reading a book before suddenly awaking in this world in these clothings. A disembodied voice told her she was the fairy of the Forest of Blessings and to go and save the forest with her magic. Nilous says according to the books in the area, this place is where the goddess of creation gave life to the creatures, and that words are the true magic of this world. She then states the nearby residents of the forest are prepping to rebuild the tavern, and she offered her assistance, so we join her. After helping the NPCs of the dumbass fucking NPCs of the land, by the way, these fucking problems were so fucking vanille. We return to the hut and are still faced with the problem of actually reopening the tavern, so Paimon suggests Nilous tries to mimic the goddess of creation's power, so Nilous creates an origami hamster, names it after a plant, says it's welcome to live in this world, and bada bing bada boom, it comes to life. With her powers now activated, Nilous senses something under the tavern and asks Grandpa Almond to check it out, and as if he were Barry Allen, he returns in a fucking nanosecond and says there is indeed something odd in the tavern he's never seen before. It's an empty bottle. We quickly clock it's an empty ink bottle that's been deprived of magic tonic or ink, so Nilous makes some more, instructs Almond to fill the bottle while she does the rest. With the tavern back, Almond's colors and memories return to him in full. He thanks us for what we've done and says we should next head to Constellation Metropole, which is Simulanka's big city, and once we reach the highest point, we can try and contact the Goddess of Prophecy. We head to the train station and the conductor fawns over the hero and the fairy until we calm him down. When he opens the cart to let us in, we hear a voice, and upon further inspection see Kirara asleep eating her own tail. There's a dark joke in there somewhere. When we awake her, she assumed she was dreaming until the conductor tells us she can't sleep in the train overnight. Kirara also says she awoke in these clothings and also heard a voice, but due to fear, didn't catch much of what was said. Being a cat, the nearby animals are worried they will be eaten by Kirara. It isn't until the wise elder Grandpa Almond provides a more level-headed take that we discover the animals' fears are misguided. This is actually a good joke. I actually fucking laughed for like a minute. We finally head off, and upon making it to the Metropole, Kirara decides to investigate something else. As we head up, a toy guard who's seemingly suspended in animation asks for our help, and upon turning the key, he and his friends start moving again. Though the power was akin to turning back time, and the toy guard explains it's a gift from the goddess of prophecy and helps those who've deviated from their proper path to get back on track. But this in turn means their lives have already been planned out, to which the toy guard sees nothing wrong with that. And then the other toy adds that they have the freedom to live their lives and make their own choices, but when something catastrophic is bound to happen, it's then the goddess's magic will activate, as it's more so a protection magic. Upon making it to the bustling city, we are greeted by the king's guards, and soon, the king, who, oh my god, it's Navia. Navia says she awoke here too, and the boys told her she was the king of Constellation Metropole, and she must go forth and save her city. Navia informs us recently the evil dragon has been flying to the sky and stealing the stars for an unknown reason. In battle with guards, the dragon dropped the stars, and Navia's been collecting them. She only managed to get fucking one, by the way. Real capable you are, Navia, huh? We ask Navia if she can take us to the Goddess of Prophecy's statue atop the king's castle, and she obliges, but warns us the Goddess of Prophecy has been silent about the future for many years. Navia says on the way up, we can help her deal with the invaders that have been attacking. You see, recently, the gift from the Goddess of Prophecy has been going haywire, causing some of the toy guards to either get stuck in place or caught in a time loop. Thanks to this, the invaders have decided to seize the moment and attack now. We wonder how to solve the problem of the gift from the Goddess of Prophecy seemingly breaking down, but apparently, the Goddess of Prophecy had this planned out long ago, and an old prophecy states we must go and push the gear that connects up to the sky. When that time comes, she will dance and return the tracks beneath the people's feet back to the stars in the sky. This is odd, as the track she wants to take back is the gift she gave to her people, so it sounds like she plans on taking back the gift, thus removing their protection. This has caused some of the residents to dislike the prophecy, as they don't want to lose the goddess's protection magic. We then decide to head up the castle, and on the way manage to grab a star already matching what Navi has done in a day. We fight our way to the top, dealing with invaders, grabbing more stars all the while. At the top, we spot a citizen who fears losing the goddess's gift, trying to steal a magic gear and use protection magic to stop him, but Navia insists he be left alone. Using the gear, we form a star and are finally able to speak with the goddess's statue, and she tells us not a damn thing. We didn't already know. Doesn't even answer half the fucking questions, just refuses, sits in silence like a dumbass. We then decide to return the stars we found to the sky and plan to do so by taking the motherfucking aerial express. What's even crazier is that Navia says she found the train after a lot of efforts and no one's used it for the last couple hundred years, which, I mean, that's pretty damn close to Himiko's story in the Astral Express, huh? We return the stars to the sky one by one and eventually make it back to the ground, where at that very moment some citizens show up with the sole purpose of objecting to the plan of turning the gear that will cause them to lose the goddess's blessing. Navia then goes on to give the most abhorrent propaganda speech. So much propaganda, even Stalin's jaw dropped about something independent children making your own decisions, deal with the consequences, overprotecting. Shut the fuck! The two weak-willed, bitch-made, gutless citizens then agree to the plan, and we turn the gear. With that crisis solved, all that's left to do is deal with the evil dragon at the end of the world, and we can get there again by taking the train. The train ride goes relatively smoothly until the tracks stop at the edge of a waterfall, and despite the conductor's best efforts, we end up falling. While blacked out, we hear a voice speak in incomplete sentences. The next scene shows the traveler resting on Nilou's lap, thanks to the realest nigga on Fane's green earth, Wanderer, somehow placing the traveler perfectly on her lap, and even flaming Nilou for trying to question him. Look at that smile on his face. Hey, my nigga knew what he was doing, bro. Ungrateful bastard. When conversing with Wanderer, we catch note of a toy sword on his hip. He says the voice told him it was the hero's sword, and no matter how far he threw the sword, it always zapped right back to his hip. It's then we realize he's the hero of this story and not us. He says he's been trying to find a way out of this world, but due to the state of things has instead decided to confront the dragon. And because that's what we're gonna do, we join forces. We pick up a dragon scale and notice it as the property of turning everything it touches into toy blocks. The conductor eventually catches up with us and informs us we can reach the dragon by heading behind the waterfall. We eventually reach deep enough into the cave where we confront the mighty, evil, terrifyingly awesome dragon that's been plaguing the land. This is the best dragon noise we could come up with. I mean, alright, bro. We can't hurt the dragon, so we play the dodge simulator for a bit until it smashes the ground, sending us all falling. While passed out, we overhear two women speaking about the fate of the creature, and right as we are about to hear the name of the creature, it cuts out. And it's actually in this very scene I clocked who this was. So, if you figured it out before me, you are a fucking tryhard, and if you figured it out after me, you are a dumbass. It's just cause, dude, isn't this exact scene described somewhere in one of Mondstadt's weapons? I've read it before. Anyway, apparently everyone saw the same thing, and it was the dragon's memories. Now feeling sympathetic towards the dragon, we wish to speak with it, and we head onward towards the village. We run into it a few more times until the dragon finally gets to a place where it has nowhere to go, and Skara Bunchamunch, ever the realist, recognizes the only way to calm the dragon down is through force. We must fight him by placing bombs in his mouth, and eventually the dragon tires and instead engenders a black mist, causing Scaramouche to spot a scene, I guess, is what's going on between two hexenzirkel mages, Barbeloths and Anders' daughter. Barbeloths asks Anders' daughter if she really wants to go through with creating the creature, despite the sad fate its opposite met in reality, abandoned by its creator, and eventually death. Anders' daughter says it's because of the sad reality she wishes in Simulanka it can have a happier life. Barbeloths counterstating if she gives it the same name, however, the two's fates will parallel one another. Admiring Anders' daughter's tenacious spirit, interestingly, Barbeloths lets her in on a secret, but we never find out what the secret is, unless it's in a side quest or a book, or there's another part after this, and I made this video too early. We then catch another scene with the dragon and Anders' daughter with not much time left. She states she will leave the dragon soon due to her shorter lifespan, and when she does, she will become a star in the skies of Simulanka, and if he's ever lonely, just look up. We then catch sight of people being afraid of the dragon, and suddenly, a star descends, and it's the dragon's wish, whose wish is to have never been born, which Wanderer criticizes.
Nobody can define who you are, or deny the true feelings of your heart. Now remember your name. Durin.
I fucking knew it!
It's all right now.
We discussed everything we learned for a bit, and for those unaware, in Teyvat there was a real dragon named Durin, who was created by one of the other hexenzirkel mages, Rheindoter. During the Cataclysm, Durin was told to simply explore the land and spread his wings, whereby he happened to go to Mondstadt, but due to his poisonous blood, simply ravaged the land everywhere he went. This caused Dvalin and Barbeloths himself to respond and fight Durin, but Durin, being the kind-hearted spirit he was, thought they were dancing in the sky, and it wasn't until he was bleeding out on Dragonspine he realized they were killing him. Anders' daughter, seeing this horse shit, decided he needs a new ending, and rightfully so. We then jump into the hole made by Durin, where we come across a study where we learn it's the goddess of fate's place, also known as Anya M. Anders' daughter. We then learn Alice was the goddess of creation, and naturally that makes Barbeloths the goddess of prophecy. We realize the reason Durin was star-napping the stars was because he was trying to find his mother. Durin finally speaks to us and expresses his wish to live amongst the people, but laments the fear he inspires in them, and the fact that everything he touches turns to blocks. We then power a friendship, the nigga, turn him into a baby back bitch. This is some shit you'd find in Dragon Tales. Hey, bro, fuck having people accept you for who you are. You just gotta conform, baby nigga. That's Smolder. That's Smolder, bro. Just gotta conform, I guess. Can't accept people's differences. I don't know. We head out the mines with Mini Durin and are greeted by Alice, where she explains Simulanka is a real... Is this really a happy ending? They completely changed his form. What? Anyway, we run into Alice, where she explains this is a real place within one of Anders' daughter's fairy tales. She and Barbeloths helped bring to life the place, because, why not? The reason the heroes of the story are all here is because the moments Durin made his wish to Anders' daughter, his mother, they all happened to be holding one of her fairy tales, and the reason the Traveler is here is because Alice personally sent them a book as to act as witnesses, because... And we needed a summer event. Furthermore, it's thanks to our blessing as the ones who's traveled many stars, Mini Durin may even be able to explore other worlds outside the book, including Teyvat. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Durin, Dval, and Barbeloths reunion. That's one for the ages. Alice then tells us it just so happened to slip her mind to tell us how to leave, laughs it off, tells us the way out, and pieces out herself. The end. Ayo, fuck Rheindoter, by the way. It's always gonna be fuck Rheindoter till I die.